What happens when they all go down in turn one? Get up and race, plus Dungey keeps it rolling. It was wet and sloppy in Georgia, but Moto America gets its first double winner. We're down to the final three for Arena Cross, and it's still up in the air on who's going to be the champ. ATV MX rips up the dirt of Kemp, Texas, and we have the exclusive video. All that and more right now. Hi, it's good to have you here with us on the Racer X Show. I'm Greg. Along with all that stuff you saw on the tees, we have some MotoGP and World Superbike information, plus news from the Supercross paddock. Good times ahead, so let's get after it.
The Racer X Show with Greg White is being presented by Acerbis, Soul and Passion, and by Yoshimura, the leader in performance exhausts.
To open us up, the Supercross segment presented by Acerbis, which did you see Dungey run his Acerbis hands guard during the race? All right, I'm getting ahead of myself because we're going to talk Monster Energy Supercross and the 250 West final race, which happened at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California over the weekend, where Yamalube Star Racing Yamaha's Cooper Webb, he's already wrapped up the championship. So it was a free-for-all with nothing on the line but a win. And after the gate drop, things got turn one ugly. Check this out. This is the dash to turn one, and then chaos. All but 7 riders in the field go down, and when the dust clears, it was number 100 Team 100motorsports.com Josh Hansen with the lead. Right behind him, the rookie Aaron Plessinger on the Yamalube Star Racing Yamaha. There is a pass for the lead, but a mistake by Plessinger. He goes down, he tucks the front, and the group goes by. Hansen back up front. Then Webb from being down in turn one to the lead. Hansen fights back, Webb scrubs to Hansen's jump over the triple, and that is the race. That's how you do it, champ. Crash what? Red Bull KTM's Hill with his second podium of the season. CycleTrader.com's Alex Martin, also his second. But let's give it up for Webb.
It was a wild race for sure, you know, with everybody going down on the start. I knew I went down and I was looking around just seeing who was down, and once I saw that I was like, man, it's a race to get their bike up first. And yeah, I'm watching it right now. It's that's crazy that the guys that made it out, but yeah, everybody went down, it looks like.
When it comes to the premier class, Red Bull KTM's Ryan Dungey has had a great season. So why not take it easy, rest up for the Pro Motocross season coming up, just be a part of the show. Not Dungey's plan. He doesn't want to fade into the background. He has a job to do. And this dude, he's been Employee of the Month since February. Gate drop, mad dash to turn one, and no repeat of the 250, thank goodness. Instead, it's Justin Barcia, Autotrader.com Toyota Yamaha, out front with the lead. A good jump for him. He was out since round 6 until last week in Houston. He was followed closely by Discount Tires' Chad Reed on the Kawasaki. Your champion, Ryan Dungey, in third. Reed was chasing Barcia when this miscue caused the Aussie to hit the deck. He'd remount to finish 8th. Now Dungey with a clear shot at Barcia. He makes the most of it, motors on by, and that would be the race. Dungey with his 21st career win. Tomac still suffering from so-so starts in second. But how about Weston Pike, his first podium in 67 starts. Congratulations, Weston, and congratulations to Ryan.
You know, I enjoyed last week, I enjoyed all week, but this week I really I wanted to come out swinging. You know, there's still a lot to accomplish ahead, and I want to keep focused on that. But Team Red Bull KTM, you know, we struggled a little bit in practice, but we got it dialed, and the boys did a good job. A couple good starts tonight, and Dunlop tires were hooking up good.
If you haven't heard, Davey Millsaps and Monster Energy Kawasaki have parted ways, to put it nicely. If you're interested in learning more about what they said, what he said, shoot on over to RacerXOnline.com. Center section is the latest news. They have it all for you. Okay, this is a big one, people. Supercross Saturday, live on Fox. Like I'm talking American Idol Fox from MetLife Stadium, just outside of New York City. Coverage begins at 3 p.m. East, noon Pacific. Everyone has Fox, so tune in. It's 3 hours of coverage. The big moment for the series, and that is our Supercross segment, presented by Acerbis. We now bring you the road race segment presented by Yoshimura, and we'll start you with Moto America highlights from round 2 and the new AMA Road Race Series' first attempt at putting on a race by themselves. And they did so at Road Atlanta, where conditions all weekend were, well, soggy. And when you have a 360-pound superbike making around 190 horsepower, things can get a bit dicey. We start with the second start of the Superbike and Superstock 1000 race. And getting away with a clean launch, number 95 Yoshimura Suzuki's Roger Hayden. The onboard shows just how soaked the track is in Brazelton. Monster Energy Graves Yamaha's Josh Hayes on the number 1 would make a pass on Hayden down through the S's with the number 00 Westby Racing Yamalube Yamaha of Josh Day just ahead of Cameron Beaubier. That bike is in the Superstock 1000 part of the race. Hayden would get by Hayes again to take the point, and then with Monster Energy Graves Yamaha's Beaubier chasing and making a move, Hayden, with a brief touch of the paint stripe, slams his GSXR 1000 to the ground. With other fallers around the track, the red flag came out and the race is over. Cameron Beaubier, your winner. Hayes ahead of Lewis, with Bernard Martinez continuing his great start to the season in 3rd. Same day, just a couple hours later, and race 2 gets underway, and Hayden with the whole shot again. Heading down into the S's, it's Hayes, Lewis, and Ducati Superstock 1000, the 75 of Huntley Nash in the mix. Beaubier behind Hunt. Even with traction control, Lewis still had this big moment, trying not to let the two up front get away. Fast forward, as Hayden is getting away, Hayes makes this mistake exiting turn 5, so Hayden is gone. Now the fight is between Lewis and Beaubier, but then with the drying track and lap times picking up, Hayden throws it away. The onboard shows it. A few laps later, and it's Yamaha versus Suzuki in a braking duel, with number 6 Beaubier inside for the lead. In 3rd overall and leading the Superstock 1000 class, Road Race Factory Red Bull Yamaha's Jake Gagne. But for the win, all by himself, and his first double of his Superbike career, Cameron Beaubier. For Lewis, his first time stepping up onto the podium, the rookie doing it in only his 4th race on a Superbike. But it was Cameron's day. So?
Raj had a ton of pace right off the get-go, and Jake was riding awesome too. It took me a while to get around him, and yeah, after I got around him, I just put my head down and started clicking off good laps, and slowly started creeping away. But yeah, like I said, I just got to give it up to my team. Man, yeah, it feels so good to finally got my first double in Superbike. So really happy, and move on to the next round.
And moving on, Beaubier already has a big lead. With 7 rounds and 14 Superbike races remaining, this one is far from over. In the smaller displacement Super Sport class, it was 2013 AMA Superbike champion Josh Herron's return to a 600 and his home track. He grabbed the win. In Saturday's race, just ahead of Garrett Gerloff, those two would swap positions on Sunday, with JD Beach locking up 3rd in both. Gerloff leads the points. TV stuff for you. You can check out Moto America on CBS Sports Network. The race highlights from Road Atlanta will air on the 26th of April at 5 p.m. in the East. Okay, the MotoGP race from Argentina ended up being so good. I wish we had the video to show you, but here's the race. At the halfway mark, Repsol Honda's Marc Marquez is leading Movistar Yamaha's Valentino Rossi with about 4 seconds. Now, Marquez is on a softer rear tire than Rossi, and about at that point, Rossi starts chipping away at Marquez's lead. 4, then 3.8 to 3.4, and so on. With 2 to go, Rossi's on him. They start to battle, pass, repass, then they touch. Still close, Rossi makes a right-to-left transition near Marquez's front tire. Marquez goes down. Rossi cruises home for the win. Oh man, it was so good. Rossi has 2 wins in 3 races and leads the points championship. Marquez slipped to 5th. World Superbike raced in Assen, Holland, and for the first time this season, we had a non-Brit standing on the podium. Johnny Ray still won on his factory Kawasaki, Ducati's Chaz Davis in 2nd, both are from the UK. But it was hometown hero Mikey van der Mark from the Netherlands, finishing 3rd on his Kata Honda. And that is our road race segment, presented by Yoshimura. Moving on to the AMSOIL Arena Cross Series, where they're in the midst of the race to the championship. For the top 10, the points reset and the last 6 races decide the champ. And so far, Ty Lube Tough Racing Husqvarna's Kyle Regal has been the standout. But of the top in the RTTC, 3 are Team Babbitt's Monster Energy AMSOIL Kawasaki riders, the likes of Matt Gerke, Chris Blose, and Jacob Hayes, and they're not laying down and letting Regal have this one. To the Tacoma Dome in Tacoma, Washington, we go. When Main 1 got underway, it was number 2 Hayes who got the jump and the early lead. His teammates followed. And with Hayes out front, it was number 36 Gerke in second. Second in the points, number 63 Blos started to struggle. Here, just getting offline, into the tough blocks, and he'd go down. But up front, Hayes would hold off the charges from Gerke to take the win. Kyle Regal was fifth. Main 2, and it's Hayes again, all the way from the outside. He grabs the hole shot. Gerke didn't get the start he wanted and had to charge. Here, taking second away from number 12, slack-aware KTM Steve Magis. Next to go past Magis, number 4, Kyle Regal, an important pass for the championship. But for the first time this year, Jacob Hayes wins both main events and closes in on Regal for that number 1. Regal was able to grab third overall with his 5.3. Blos all the way down in ninth, but Hayes is the big winner.
I've been working hard all year, you know, it finally paid off tonight. Got 2 really good hole shots and rode solid all night, you know. Pulled off 2 main event wins, and first time doing that this year, really pumped. And the Team Babbitt's Monster Energy Amsoil Kawasaki was ripping tonight, you know. I felt really good. Struggled in practice a little bit, but we got it dialed in. Me and my mechanic Josh Denson, my supporter Edgar Halstead, everybody's been putting in the work and finally paying off.
Regal had 6 over Blos heading into this race, now 8 over Hayes. 2 to go. You can watch full race coverage from Tacoma Sunday the 26th at high noon East, 9 a.m. for you Pacific folks. That's on Fox Sports 1. And now on to some ATV race action in the Mountain Dew ATV Motocross National Championship, where over the weekend, racing was at the Underground MX Park in Texas. It's been about a month since round 1, so all eyes were on the reigning 3-time AMA Pro ATV champ and current points leader, Chad Wienen, to see if he could pick up right where he left off. Brap. When the gate dropped on Moto 1, to no one's surprise, it was Motorsports.com Maxxis Fly Racing Honda's John Natale who led the riders into the first turn, collecting the SSI Decals Hole Shot Award. The veteran opened the race looking strong, but soon Hetrick Racing Honda's Joel Hetrick started to apply pressure. Hetrick was on the gas, closing in on Natale and eventually making an aggressive pass stick. And with that, Hetrick would lead the remaining laps, only to have his motor expire as he crossed the line. But he still was able to take his second moto win of the season. Champ Wienen wasn't far behind in third. A new engine for Hetrick, and we start Moto 2. Natale grabbed his second hole shot of the day. Hetrick second, Wienen third. Hetrick once again looked to put the pressure on Natale for the lead, but this time a much better start by Wienen allowed him to make the move on Hetrick for second on lap 1. Once in the runner-up spot, Wienen did what Wienen does, go after Natale. John put up a good fight for a few laps until, on lap 4, Wienen took the top spot. Hetrick was forced to battle through a bike issue, no doubt a new motor issue. Texan Thomas Brown passed everybody but Wienen to grab second, but Chad wins again this year. The combined has Hetrick 1-5 in third. Not bad considering his engine woes for the weekend. All right, though, it's Chad time.
Yeah, I just rode a clean race, and John made a little mistake, and I got by him, and man, I just never looked back, and I just kept my Maxxis tires hooking up to the ground, my Fox shocks working great with my Yamaha, and you know, I'm just really pumped on the day, getting the overall, and we'll head on to Tennessee.
Wienen in the spot he wants to be in, with Hetrick and Natale keeping it close. A quick look at the Pro-Am results have Cam Colville, the youngster, in first place. Second and first, he gets the overall. V2 Casanave in second place with his first and third. Both riders dominated the motos that they won. Looking at the points, V2 is 9 over Tremelin and 17 over Colville. Make note of these names because these are the riders that are going to be coming up in the next couple years and challenging Chad Wienen for the pro title. Hey, go see some live racing this weekend. The Monster Energy Supercross Series is in New Jersey at MetLife Stadium, just outside of New York City. Supercrossonline.com for tickets. Arena Cross lands in Fresno, California for the penultimate race. GNCC is in Springville, Indiana for round 5, and the weather's looking pretty good for that. And in Texas, the second race of Scramble Cross at Askey Ranch. Get out and watch some racing.
The Racer X Show with Greg White is being presented by Cherubies, Soul and Passion, and by Yoshimura, the leader in performance exhausts.
One more thing before we get out of here. Ryan Villopoto had a disastrous weekend in the MXGP in Italy over the weekend. A huge crash in Moto2, and he was out. So 4th and 30th. He's okay. He's going to keep fighting, and we want you to keep on grinding, Ryan. All right, that's it for now. We're out of here. For the fine crew at the Racer X Show and Racer TV, I'm Greg. Remember, we are all racing all the time. Thanks for the ATV, Upperman. I gotta race these things. I think I could fit on this one.